Here we have the brand new Comet 39 from Zelos. And if I had to name my favorite micro brand, it would be Zelos. I think I featured about 15 or 16 over the past 6 or 7 years. I enjoy the originality of the designs. I enjoy the exotic materials or the bold colors. The Lume is always on point. The prices are always fair. I think they're lower than what a mainstream brand would charge. So I feel like I'm getting the value anytime I get a Zelos. And then some of them have very impressive customized Swiss movements, which you don't often see in micro brands. And this is another one that hits all of those check boxes: original, exotic materials, bold colors, good Lume, fair price, and an impressive customized Swiss movement. This one is the Meteorite dial of the 39. So this dial is a real slice of rock from space that survived the violent descent into our atmosphere and landed somewhere on our planet. It's mostly made out of iron and nickel, but it has a very distinctive crystalline structure that's called a Widmanstätten pattern. And I love that this alloy did not originate on our planet, but it's now the beautiful face of this watch. Zelos placed 3 different pieces of meteorite on this dial. There's the lower circular main plane, then there's the sub-seconds circle below the hand stack, and then the raised outer ring on which the applied markers sit. And this ring is colored blue, and that's done by physical vapor deposition, or PVD. Now, I've seen other brands that do colored meteorite dials, and I have to say that this example has a better Widmanstätten pattern and better coloration than ones that I've seen from Omega that cost north of $10,000. So that's just kind of enhancing that value proposition that I feel with Zelos. This meteorite may even be from the same source meteorite, because most jewelry grade meteorite comes from 2 sources, the Gibeon and the Muonyon Alusta impacts. Now, going back to the features of this Comet 39, it's thin, it's trim, 39 millimeters in case diameter, 45 millimeters lug tip to lug tip, 20 millimeter lug width, and then it's only 9.4 millimeters in total height, but 7.6 if you subtract this sapphire crystal. So it wears so well. It's thin, it feels refined, and this flat Jubilee style bracelet, which gives me some Rolex vibes here. It's smooth on the wrist, but it reflects a lot of light. There's a lot of visual interest when you do a wrist roll, especially outside, and that only strengthens the dynamic nature of the overall package. So I really like the presence, the fit, and how this attracts the eye. Now, Zelos used BGW9 X1 grade Lume from Superluminova, and as per usual, it's awesome. And it's not something that you often find on these more traditional sized, thinner daily wear watches. Often they feel dressy and they don't have great lume. This has great lume. In fact, the case back also has a ring around the movement that's lumed. And that's not really anything to do with function, but I think it's a fun detail nevertheless. This watch is not what I would consider a dress watch, but in the short time that I've had it, I've found myself wearing it when I'm dressing up. I don't dress up a ton, but anytime I'm wearing a button-up shirt or a sport coat, I wear this one, and it's been really fun in those situations. Talking about the movement, Zelos placed a Swiss-made ETA or Peugeot 7001 hand wind caliber, but it has a custom skeletonized PVD-coated bridge and plate system. It has custom engraved gear wheels and heat-blued screws. I think it looks beautiful. The accuracy, at least on my example, it's running a bit fast, so I'm going to take it into my local watchmaker and have it just regulated a little bit, but nothing crazy. The smaller nature of this 7001, you see it kind of like a porthole within this 39 millimeter case. And looking at the dial side, it mimics the smaller sunken meteorite dial plane. And so whether it's intentional or not, there's a veiled level of duality of form within this design. And I think that's nice. Now, a couple last things to note before we wrap up. Zelos has placed ARC, or anti-reflective coatings, on the sapphire crystal that minimizes the reflections, that enhances the dial clarity as you look at it, and I think that's an important feature to have. Zelos also placed a milled push button clasp on this bracelet. It looks about the same thickness as the case, and it's fairly heavy, so it balances out the watch while you're wearing it. The top is not top heavy, and if you wear your watches loose, it's not going to slide around. Now, there's a logo button that you press to engage the sliding quick adjustment system. I love seeing that here on this watch. And then there are also toolless removable end links if you want to take the bracelet off without a tool and put on a different style strap. I think this watch would look amazing on a thin blue shell Cordovan strap, or maybe even black or like a honey color, just to accentuate the blue of that Meteorite dial ring and then the blued hands that are found on the face of the watch. Now, this Comet 39 has 50 meters of water resistance. It has a push-pull crown. I would not recommend going swimming with this watch. And it comes in a leather 3-watch roll with microfiber interior and snap closure. That's a nice feature. I find this more helpful personally than just a standard presentation box, because I do take watches here and there, either to watch meets or maybe to the park when I'm going to get some wrist rolls outside and I can film a few watches at the same time. So it's nice to have a 3-watch roll as opposed to a traditional watch box. Now, this Comet 39 is available not only in Meteorite, but in Tiger Eye, in Mother of Pearl, in steel from a crashed P-51 Mustang, and it's also available in crystallized titanium in the full tantalum version. Now, each edition is limited to 100 pieces, except for tantalum. That one is limited to 50 pieces, and each are individually engraved with the production number on the case back. Prices are launch specials. They're listed here on the screen. Full retail for each of these goes up on, I think, November 31st, if there are any still available. If you're familiar with Zelos, you know that most launches sell out within just a couple days and sometimes in one day. So if you're interested in this Comet 39, I would jump on the wagon as quickly as possible just to make sure that you have the one that you want and you don't miss out after the fact. Links are below. Thanks for watching. Like this video if you got something from it or appreciated it, and please subscribe. Chances are I'm working on more watch content as you view this right now.